The following live NBC North Dakota Sports exclusive is brought to you by Touchstone Energy Cooperative, Bank of the West, the North Dakota State Seed Department, Farmers Union Insurance, North Dakota Propane Gas Association, John Deere, and by American Bank Center. Live from the MSU Dome, it's the 2009 State Class B Boys High School Basketball Tournament.
Good afternoon. NBC North Dakota Sports brings you live coverage of the North Dakota State B Boys Basketball Tournament. Hi everyone, I'm Scott Peters along with Lee Timmerman live from the Minot State Dome in Minot, North Dakota. Hard to believe, but the winter sports season comes to an end in North Dakota this weekend.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like winter's going to get over with, but the winter sports season certainly will. There's still plenty of snow out there, but we have plenty of basketball to show you this weekend.
Yeah, what a great way to finish things up with the State B. It is the highlight of the winter sports tournaments, and we start our action with the North Sargent Bobcats taking on North Star, the Bearcats. That is our first game of the afternoon session. We'll wrap up the afternoon with top-ranked and unbeaten Linton. The Lions taking on Watford City, one of the teams that returns to the state tournament from a year ago.
Well, there's the second team that can say that as well, Scott, is Turtle Lake Mercer. The Trojans finished second last year, coming in at 22-2. That'll be the third game of the day, coming up right after the news, taking on the Bowman County Bulldogs. Then the Knights from Dakota Prairie and the Bombers from Berthold, the closest team here to Minot. That's the lineup today on quarterfinal day.
Linton and Watford City, top two ranked teams in the state, will play in a few minutes. They are warming up. We'll be back with more from the State B after this.
NBC North Dakota Sports welcomes you back to the B here on the campus of Minot State University. North Sargent gets to shower up, and probably some of the coaches will grab a pen and paper and do a little scouting here as they will take on the winner of the Watford City and Linton basketball game. I'm Lee Timmerman along with Scott Peters. And Scott, as we set up this game, it's got some pretty easy storylines to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does. I mean, you got Linton, who has been the top-ranked team throughout most of the season, the only unbeaten team coming in, and Watford City, one of the two teams that are returning to the state tournament from a year ago, and they have some business to take care of in their trip back.
And the Wolves number 2 in that final poll of the season. So yes, Linton the champion of Region 3, Watford City representing Region 8 once again, and Watford City coming in with that 22-2 mark. One of those losses was to the Bismarck High JV team, and the other one happened in the district championship game against Mandaree, I believe, the team that they turned around and beat in the title once again.
Well, Linton, as we mentioned, unbeaten at 23-0, and you'll see the records a little different for some of these teams in terms of the amounts of games played, but well, I tell you, there's a lot of schools in North Dakota that had games just wiped off the schedule because of weather this year, and that was the case for at least a couple for Linton.
Yeah, Linton didn't get to play a game against Bowbridge. I think
Yep.
that was on its schedule. But with these two teams coming in here, I love the matchup. I'm looking forward to it, and let's just dive into a couple of keys to the game, and these keys to the game are brought to you by the North Dakota State College of Science. Choose NDS-CS.
Well, for Linton, you know, we had the hockey tournament a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about the line change. Well, Linton does something similar to that, although they call it a lion change, but they will literally switch out 5 players at a time. That's how deep they are, and they can go a little bit deeper than that as well. Don't be surprised if by the end of the game that they've got 11 or 12 players that have seen some time. And continue the intensity. Well, head coach Dan Carr thinks his team really picked up the intensity in the postseason, especially at the region tournament, and they want to continue that type of play here at the state tournament.
Well, a lot of that intensity is on the defensive side for the Lions, which, of course, Watford City has to deal with. But the Wolves want to go at it, I think, a little bit different. And if this works, it'll be something that most teams have not seen. Attack the trapper. What Coach Randy Cranston wants his kids to do in the backcourt is, if you have not given up your dribble yet and you see the person coming to trap you, go at that person. It's usually just the opposite of what most teams do. Try to go back and get a ball reversal, attack the trapper. If you beat that trapper, you might have numbers heading up court. Not just happy to be here. Well, Watford City and and player Kevin Sanford said, last year I think we had a little bit of that in us. This year, we want to go after it and get into that championship game. And to do that, they'll have to knock off number 1. Well, John, you've watched this Wolves team. You know that they have it in them, but they'll have to do it against the number 1 ranked Lions, won't they, John?
No kidding. What a great matchup right out of the gates here in the afternoon. Watford City has a pair of very young guards, and Randy is hoping that they will be able to deal with all the pressure from Linton back and forth, because we know the Lions will bring it. All year they've been very successful, and that's one of the reasons why Watford City is here. So Randy thinks they will be able to deal with it, and with a great leader like Sanford, you know, the intensity will be there as well. Linton, a Hall of Fame program, a Hall of Fame coach. This is absolutely a great matchup. Guys, let's get it going.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Well, a couple of players to focus on, and didn't we talk about some football players that were outstanding in that first game? This is certainly one of them. Justin Purrington, we've been talking about him at state tournaments, it seems like, for about 6-7 years now, but it's actually been about 3 or 4. But what an outstanding athlete. Averages 17 points a game, 6 rebounds. He's knocked down 31 threes. Just a solid all-around athlete. Very put together and a very difficult player to defend for Linton.
Well, we saw John's story on Kevin Sanford, and Kevin, well, he made the team roll big time in that second meeting against Mandaree. 27 points, just really took it at him. Sanford, a quarterback, an all-state quarterback, just like Purrington. And, you know, he just is the guy that makes Watford City go, and he does it both leadership-wise and point-wise. So those are 2 players that'll be instrumental in trying to, for their teams to try and win today. Well, let's meet the first 5, if you will, the starting lineups, which are brought to you this afternoon by Bank of the West, proud sponsor of North Dakota Sports.
Well, and for Linton, you're right, it is just the first 5. Then Dan Carr says we don't really have starters. We have people that start the game and then people that start just a little bit later in the game. Travis Human is one of the starters. He's a 5'8" senior, averages 3.5 points a game for the Lions. Also in the starting 5 is Cullen Holm. He averages 3 points, 5 assists a game. He is a 5'10" senior. All seniors across at least that first 5 for the Lions. Justin Purrington, we talked about him a little bit already and what he can do. 17 points, 6 rebounds, a 6'2" senior, and he can play all over the floor offensively for the Lions. And Bo Schmalz averages 2 points a game. He is a 6' senior for the Lions, wearing number 35. And Jonathan Pavlicek for Linton, a 6'8" senior. He is a tall kid in the middle. Certainly can do some damage in the paint. Averages 10 points a game for Dan Carr, who is in his 27th year as head coach of the Lions from Linton.
Well, the Wolves from Watford City, one of those young guards that John talked about is sophomore Trey Jacobson. He is 5'10", pretty good three-point shooter as well. Kevin Sanford, the senior leader. Sanford at 18.6, the leading scorer on his team. Christian Schultz is a guy that'll make other teams nervous, because if he hits his first couple, look out. Schultz, a senior at 5'11", he is a streaky type of player, and he can put a bunch of points up in a hurry. Nick Liebel is a sophomore at 5'9", nickel wear, number 30 tonight. And Justin Flatland, an all-state tight end. Today he'll be the man in the middle. Leading rebounder at 8.5, wearing number 54, the head coach Randy Cranston, a native of Hatton, and in 7th year as the head coach of the Wolves, and the Wolves making a return trip here to the B. We'll be right back to tip this game off. It's Linton and Watford City next on NBC North Dakota Sports. It's appearance number 17 for the Linton Lions, the most for a single school. The different formulations of Mayport CG over the years have been to the tournament more, but Linton for a single school, number 17, and for Watford City, it's appearance number 7. The Wolves won a title in 1991, beating Munich, while Linton in 84 and 85, back-to-back state champions.
Yeah, Linton had a run of 3 straight earlier this decade, 2003, 4, and 5. 3 straight trips here. As we mentioned, Watford City here last year, finishing 4th, winning its first game in the quarterfinals, dropping the next 2.
And again, it will seem so strange when Linton goes 5 on, 5 off. Now, usually when that happens, the coach is so mad at the starters that he wants to make a point. Well, that's not the case here. Pavlicek and Sanford will jump it up, and The Wolves, with their visiting dark-colored maroon, go on offense first. Schultz gets into the lane, floats it in, and off the backboard. Christian Schultz gets the scoring started.
Well, pretty good look to get things started by Schultz, and found some room in the lane, and what I like there is put it off the backboard from that angle.
Watford City is a pressure the ball team as well. Pavlicek along the baseline to Purrington. Kick out in the corner inside. Linton getting the floor spread. That was Jacobson that got a hand on that. And their first foul of the game is going against Nick Liebel.
Yeah, that was almost a jump ball after the save by the end line, and Liebel just reaching over Travis Human.
Colin Holm will play the point.
The 2-3 zone here for Watford City.
Purrington pulls the trigger in the corner. And it's Liebel that comes away with it. Sanford. That was a three-point attempt. Pavlicek pulls down that board. Linton still looking for first points. Human will not shoot a lot. He is effective, though, every once in a while from outside the three-point line. Not squared up, but it doesn't matter for Justin Purrington.
Well, you see the body control, and he's got good size, but, boy, such an exceptional athlete. Able to control his body, and that one tipped, I believe.
Yeah, Schultz could not get that one to the rim because some pretty good defense. Pass over to Pavlicek. He's very good along the baseline. Now Holm on the drive, but he traveled. And here comes the first 5-for-5 switch for Linton.
Another look here at Justin Purrington. Going to his left, but able to stay in control, get that shot to go in off the backboard.
Three Remick, Scott, Trent, and Derek, along with Kelsey Larson and Tanner Purrington, the 5'11" freshman coming in this first rotation. Now Brady Weber had been in there a lot, but he's got mono and he's been a little weak, so his playing time has been hampered a little bit. Remick over to Purrington, laid up short. Chance for Tanner to go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. First foul, or second foul coming against the Wolves, and it'll be on Schultz.
Farmers Union Insurance replay. You see the nice bounce pass there along the baseline. Tanner Purrington trying to lay that one in. You talked to Dan Carr about the difference between this first five and second five. He said we do the same things on the floor, but you know, there might be a perception that we get up and down the floor just a little bit more with this second group. That's just how they play together. He said, but we don't do anything in terms of style any different. That's just how they play, and they'll pick it up maybe a little bit more from that first group.
Casey Jory, 6'3" senior, is in for Watford City. Well, I would say if the opposing coach says basically the same thing you just did there, Scott, in terms of getting up and down the floor, the shot goes in for Flatland, then it must be true, huh?
A lot of contact there, no foul.
Larson, he's got the three. 16th three of the year for Larson, and Linton's out in front by that three-point field goal.
Well, I like that shot by Larson. Had a lot of arc underneath that. Got his legs underneath him.
Schultz, offensive foul, second foul on Christian.
Yeah, that's a big one for Watford City. Now that means it's for substitution, or another substitution rather, as Schultz will have to sit for probably an extended period of time here. You see Schultz just leaning in to Derek Remick. Remick doing a good job of getting position, holding his ground.
Sanford tried for the steal. It wasn't there. Remick splits the defense but lost the ball. Here comes Watford City in transition. Sanford shot no good. That's what Watford's been so good at this year, is making that transition. Liebel spins and banks it home.
That's a pretty tough shot right there. We saw Schultz do that right off the bat. Similar style shot right there, but Liebel, great shot.
Wow. Well, you got to call any three-pointer that goes through a great shot, and that's what Kelsey Larson has done for the second time since coming in. And now here's the 5-in, 5-out switch for the Lions. The lead is 4.
Yeah, each group about a minute and a half so far of time on the floor. I don't think you'll see a team at any level, even up to college, that has the kind of depth that Linton can bring.
Flatland was open and not contested underneath.
I mean, how many teams can you think of that can substitute a second 5 and really not miss a beat at all on the floor?
Well, yeah, we'll also see Tanner Peterson play in this game yet today as well. So there'll be, 10, 11 that all get the minutes. Dan Carr said as Human puts up a 3-point, he gives his son Kyle a lot of the credit for doing this. Kyle was an assistant coach underneath on a transition basket, and it's Jory scoring. He said Kyle got so sick of his players coming running in front of him the whole time. As an assistant coach on the bench, he just said, Dad, why don't you just put 5 of them in at a time? And so he kind of went with it. Kyle's not with the team right now because he's with his professional baseball team in the minor league camp of the Twins. He's a pitcher in the organization as Purrington gets into the lane.
Probably be spending his summer in Beloit, Wisconsin.
And I think Pavlicek rolled his ankle a bit there. First foul on John. And he came up and seems to be all right. There's a timeout with 3:27 left to play in the opening quarter. 22 points scored so far. The Lions have the edge.
Let him have that. You guys on the weak side. Now you're going to sprint down here. We're getting up this weak side here. We can't do that. Okay? Get there. All right? Get after him now. Boards. We got to do a better job of boards facing the box now.
Coach Dan Carr wanting his team to get up and down the floor. Playing some defense, the Lions are right now, and there's a man on the floor underneath, and let's see how he helped get there.
I think the foul is going to be on Purrington.
Yep.
Two guys battling at the ball is near midcourt, but already going at it.
Other than the 5-in, 5-out thing, Dan Carr said as the shot goes off from Liebel that he's had to make an adjustment in his coaching style. You may remember some of the teams like when Kyle was playing a few years ago, he ran a lot of sets, a lot of type of offensive plays. And he said this time he's just got to let his team go. He said probably only got 10 specials instead of a million of them. And wanting to run, Watford City, Liebel runs it down, getting followed, and by the play by Jory. Tied at 12.
Well, good job there of chasing down that loose ball. Jory trailing the play in the second 5, ready to come back in again, next dead ball.
Working kind of a 4-out. Schmaltz gives his team the lead again. First field goal for Bo. Schmaltz of the players, not who you'd call a big scorer, but I tell you, he'll hurt you if you leave him alone like that. Jacobson had it stolen away. Here comes Holm. Boy, he is good at stealing. Let's see how he finishes. He's good at that too.
Boy, Linton really forcing the tempo here. I think a lot of ball pressure. You see Holm right there causing more problems. Fresh off the steal on the 2.
He's the best on his team, I would think, in doing that. And there's a foul on Jacobson. Trey Jacobson, the 5'10 sophomore, team's 4th, his first. They're actually having to tell the players to stay down so they can get the foul called over to the bench. They meaning the officials.
Farmers Union Insurance replay. You can see Jacobson with his. Now we'll let them all in. Good defense by.
Hey, it's different for everyone. It's
Holm,
different for the Stripes to have to deal with that. Different for the bench personnel to have to deal with that.
Well, how about the opposing team too? When you got 5 starters, making sure that everybody is matching up defensively. Now Watford will stay in a zone here, but that's got to be an adjustment for the opposing team as well.
Purrington with a 3. So there's 3 threes made on the second rotation guys, and the lead is 7. I don't know what to call it.
The second starters.
Second starters, okay.
That's
Turrington
like,
got a hand on that. Larson almost came up with the steal, but was out of bounds when he slid hustling after it.
well, one thing this does, I think, too, is just keeps the pressure on defensively. When you get a group that gets a minute and a half rest every so often, you know, just in terms of keeping fresh legs out there, well, Linton certainly has an advantage there.
Reed Johnson turned it over. And Scott Remick turned it into points, and a quick timeout taken by Randy Cranston as he looks up at a 21-12 deficit. That's how fast the Lions can do it.
Well, they're coming at you in waves, and that's literally and figuratively as the next 5 get ready to come back in, as we see the replay there in the Farmers Union Insurance. Scott Remick finishing the break with 2 more.
During the break, the first set of starters rotated back in for Linton. Now Sanford will trigger it. Here comes that full court pressure. We were tied at 12 not long ago, weren't we?
Wasn't that long ago. That's how quick, yeah, Linton can really get going offensively.
Sanford kicks back for Jacobson. Holm on an outlet, 1 pass up. Schmaltz has a trailer. Human got it.
Now just nice vision on the court there, I think, by Schmaltz, who saw Human trailing on the play. The double team came over to try to take away Human. Nice pass.
11-0 run right now for Linton at the tail end of our first quarter. 25 seconds left as Flatland is fouled in the act of shooting. Justin to the line. I think Pavlicek is called for the foul. Second one on John. Flatland will spend a lot of time the next 4 years right about where we are here. He's coming to Minot State to play football. All-stater. Both of these 2 respective schools played in the state championship. Watford City winning the AA title. Linton finishing runner-up to Harvey in Class A. Flatland made them both, as Tyler Flatland, the 6'2 sophomore, will come in for Reed Johnson.
You know, a lot of people, especially on press row here, talking about this game and asking, is this the quote-unquote championship game, because it's 1 and 2 in the state? But you know, I think, you know, you and I talked about it a little bit too. I think it's more wide open than people think. Nobody's beat Linton, I know.
Schmaltz for 3, and that'll do. The first 8 minutes, a 23-point quarter for Linton. It'll sparked by an 11-0 run. So 23-14, the Lions lead the Wolves after 1.
All right, folks, visiting with some Watford City fans. What's your name?
Jamie Johnson. I'm a sophomore at Watford City High School.
Okay.
And I'm Danny Bates, and I'm a sophomore at Watford City High School.
Okay, what's your name?
Lexi Stanford, sophomore, Watford City High School.
There we go. What's your name?
Jason Shipman, sophomore.
They're gonna get back in this one?
Yeah.
I love the fro. It's a great look, guys, from the 70s.
Well, one of the reasons that the kids are probably saying Watford City High School, we say Watford City, but it's also Alexandria as well, as Purrington off a double pickup high, shoots a 3. And a steal right back for Trent Remick, the second leading scorer.
See, already you got 8 players in the scoring column for Linton.
Not unusual to have 10 or 11. Driving in, Flatland, Tyler.
Back to the point I was trying to make at the end of the first quarter, why this is probably wide open. You got a number of teams, only 3 teams in the top 10 here, and like we saw in our first game, the reason for that is because, you know, the way that some of these other teams have played down the stretch, you just never know, you know, who can knock off who. And Linton has been in some pretty close games as well, as Trent Remick gets another one.
Remick on the offensive rebound. He leads his team in that department. And there's Remick to the floor, but he was on the end line, or sideline.
Well, someone's got to call out that screen to Travis Human. You have Flatland up there at midcourt. And that's a mismatch when you got body on body. You got 6'2", a solid 6'2" against 5'8", setting the pick.
Well, I remember it was in this building, you know, back in the early 90s as Linton almost gets another steal, where we had Watford City and Munich ranked 1 and 2 playing each other on the second game of the day. But you're right, Scott. I don't think we're quite into that situation as Holm puts it up a little bit strong. Because back then, it really was for the literally for the state championship. Whoever won on Thursday would take the title. As the senior of the Flatlands, Justin has 8 of his team's 18.
A good start for Justin. Got good position inside, and maybe another chance here after the turnover.
Poked away by Liebel. As Schultz will try to go one end to the other, and a blocking foul, so Christian will go to the free throw line to shoot a couple. That's Holm getting up off the floor, his first. It's been a clean game for both teams, really, with 4 total fouls for each team here in the second quarter.
Farmers Union Insurance replay. Holm just not getting quite set, leaning in with the body a little bit into Schultz. And another Lion change.
But Tanner,
5 coming in.
Tanner Peterson, number 3, the 6'3" junior. I believe it's his first trip in. Schultz makes the second one. Now Linton will attack, and there's Peterson scoring right away.
Well, they can just get it at you so quick.
On the fly. There from Jacobson.
All right, triple digits wouldn't be out of the question in this game. The rate we're going.
As long as shots keep going in. Well, Larson's had a couple. Larson followed his shot and might give Schultz an opportunity on the other end, and Christian will go back to the free throw line.
Kelsey Larson kind of bailed out Schultz there, I think, as Schultz couldn't quite come up with the handle on that one and ended up getting pretty deep before he got the shot off.
Christian's older sister, one of the top scorers for the University of Mary women's basketball team, Sunny.
And she was on this floor a few years back for Watford City.
Dan Carr in his 27th year as the Lions head coach. He's been coaching basketball for 3 decades. Johnson and Jacobson will switch places as Reed comes back on the floor.
Yeah, I saw a picture of Coach Carr in the program here. He's on the 25-year reunion team back in 1984.
Up the first of the back-to-back years for the Lions. In fact, one of the gentlemen who officiated the Class B girls is Purrington, puts up a 3. Played on that team. Dennis Beck.
Beck, that's correct.
Break time, 5:17, second quarter, 29-22, the Lions over the Wolves. It's time for the Farmers Union Insurance Fan Camp. Farmers Union Insurance, premier partner of the North Dakota High School Activities Association. Well, in the early stages of the second quarter, the Wolves with the ball have outscored the Lions by 2, so it's a 7-point advantage for Linton. Sanford drives around Remick, hangs a little bit, and then got the roll. First field goal, first points for Sanford.
Well, certainly important for Watford City to get him going offensively, I think.
Purrington was doubled, had to flip it back out to Holm. And there's a steal by Schultz. Layup. And Watford City has closed the gap some more.
Yeah, Christian Schultz has been pretty active so far in this second quarter.
Remick just lost the handle on it. That's Trent in traffic. First foul on Trent. Now, I'm not sure if Remick's, in here for Pavlicek because Pavlicek had the ankle thing, or if it's just part of the a substitution, pattern that Coach Carr wants to see for a few minutes.
Well, Pavlicek's not doing anything on the bench in terms of an ankle or a knee. He's just sitting there, so he's not trying to stretch anything, and they haven't been looking at him. So I know he looked like rolled a little bit early in the game.
Sanford elevates for back-to-back buckets. 1-point game.
That's a nice run here so far to start the second quarter for Watford City.
Back door to Holm. Collin goes to the free throw line as he was fouled.
Trey Jacobson, his second personal. Another look here at Sanford, and you talked about the elevation. Trying to get over the top of Remick. Great job to get a look at that shot.
Holm's been right around the 50-50 mark from the free throw line. As we see Kelsey Larson coming on for Linton. Four points now for Holm. Sanford quickly on the other end. He flipped it way high, and he had to, I guess, as Remick got back there. But Liebel keeps it alive for Flatland, who runs over someone. First foul on Justin.
Well, he ran right over Pernton. That's a lot of bodies going at it there. Farmers Union Insurance replay. How about the steal here by Liebel and the quick pass to Flatland? And the offensive foul, first one on Flatland.
Both teams with 6 fouls. That'll be team foul number 7, and I think it's the second one in a row on Flatland.
That is correct, and that now sends Linton to the line.
Yeah, we talked about Kyle Carr a little bit earlier. That's the guy that broke all of Kyle Carr's passing records, and you thought at the time when Carr was chucking up all those touchdowns and yards that it would take a while to break something like that. Purrington replaced Carr, and 4 years later, voila. Down by 4, but with the ball. The Wolves. Liebel squares up, gets into the lane. Someone's open in the deep corner. That someone was Sanford. Jacobson a follow. Flatland has it now, and Watford City working the offensive glass.
Bo Schmaltz with the foul, but yeah, Farmers Union Insurance replay. A pretty good look from 3 to start this series. And then just a great job by Watford City on the offensive boards. Flatland getting in there. He gets it stripped away.
First miss for Flatland, so he's 2 out of 3. Leading rebounder, second leading scorer. 10.5 points a game. You see him already near that with 8. Remick. 6 points in the quarter for Trent. And Trent playing some defense here. It's a 2-on-2. Let's see what Larson elects to do. He tried to drop the pass to a teammate, but Jacobson knocked it out. Break time. We'll take it. 2:53 left in the opening half of an up and down entertaining basketball game. Linton leads it by 6. Scott Remick to inbound for Linton. Watford City won its first 11 games of the year. Linton has won its first 23. Oh, there's the Wolves always in passing lane. I tell you, both these teams really do a good job ball pressure wise.
Well, fortunate bounce there. That inbound pass off the corner of the backboard. And it just kind of spun to the right person if you're Linton anyway.
Remick got too far underneath.
That was another wholesale substitution at the timeout.
That was Trent Remick, by the way. I suppose we could just go to first names with those guys. Nice catch by Dan Carr. Both teams have had nice runs. Lob pass, and it could not get over Peterson on the transition. Purrington, and the freshman was fouled. 5 points for Tanner in that first quarter. And this will be Reed Johnson's first foul. 2-shot foul. Tanner 5 of 11. No, he's now 7 of 13 on the year from the free throw line. Nick Liebel on. Baseline open. Wade kicked out to Schultz. Good look for a deep three, and he banked it.
Yeah, deep three was an understatement there. That was NBA and beyond. And then to get the muscle to bank that in, had to shoot that a little harder than even probably wanted to.
But it takes Linton's lead down to 4. 1:45 left, opening half. Offensive foul on Derrick. Spun right into some traffic.
Samford right there on the baseline. And he did a great job of cutting off the baseline so Derrick couldn't penetrate.
Long bounce pass is caught by Jacobson. Flatland. Well, see if he banks this one. Nope, hit the front of the rim, but it still goes in.
Maybe overcompensated.
12 points now for Schultz. We talked about the streaky nature of his game. Back-to-back threes, and the lead is 1. And as a coach, you love the streaky good part.
Yeah. Well, he's on one of those right now.
Purrington is double teamed, and it was last touched by Watford City.
Randy Cranston trying to get a quick substitution in before the ball is put back in play.
And he does as Johnson comes on and Schultz will come off. Schultz has 2 fouls, by the way. I'm sure Cranston doesn't want him to pick up a 3rd foul here in the last minute or so. But he may come on to bank in another 3 before we're done. I'm not sure.
That's Tyler Flatland that came on.
Oh, 52 instead of 32.
Sophomore.
All right, thanks. I just saw the 2 and 5 and a 3, you know. Maybe I should have my glasses on. I don't. The count is on against Holm. Now he gets it over to Schmaltz. Holm will take it back. Backdoor cut, catch and a shoot. And it's Schmaltz. Well executed.
Schmaltz ended up on the floor after that. Another steal by Remick.
Trent will dunk it. 8 points in the quarter, 8 points in the game for Remick, and back-to-back hoops. Takes a 1-point game up to 5. And now still time here for Purrington. As we close the half, Purrington had it knocked away. He batted it up. Chance for a long shot here for Jacobson. And a couple of back-to-back baskets late in the final minute give Linton a 39-34 lead at halftime on quarterfinal day of the Boys B. So it was the type of pace I think we expected, and it's the type of pace that, quite frankly, is fun to watch. John, go ahead.
Pretty much what you expected here.
Well, yeah, I told Randy it's going to be 150 148. Might not quite be that, but it's entertaining anyway.
Couple of big clubs going at it. What would you like to see your club do better here in the second half?
Well, we've been given too many layups and too much penetration. You know, we got to take that away, and we'll talk about that, and hopefully we can
Again, you know, there's you can see we're giving up penetration, but then you know, if Schultz hits threes on us, and sometimes it's tough, you know, to help out, and then they'll kick it out to him, and he knocked down some threes. He was smiling on that bank shot, and I didn't hear him call that, but
There you go. Thank you very much. Always good to see you. We'll be pulling for your son as well.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys.
I think Dan's trying to get that one to not count since he didn't call it.
Yeah, you only have to call it in horse. You know, I don't know if Trent called the dunk either, but here he did. The steal on one end, and Trent Remick goes up for the little one-hand jam and helps the Lions to a 5-point lead here at halftime. Back with more on the Nodak Mutual Insurance halftime report. Linton 39-34, having the lead in our halftime stats. Well, brought to us by the North Dakota Certified Seed Industry.
Well, look at these stats. Both teams shooting extremely well from the floor. Anytime you're in the mid 40% is pretty darn good, but these two teams better than 50% from the floor. Free throws, you know, two more free throws shot, or two more made rather, by Linton. Rebounds, Watford City has an edge there, 14-10, which may be a bit of a surprise, but they're doing some good things, I think, especially on the offensive end. And turnovers both pretty high, and that's led to a lot of transitions, I think, for each team.
Yeah, but Linton's kind of at, 14 is the turnover ratio where Coach Carr said, hey, he'll live with that. But Christian Schultz with 12 points leading all scorers. Trent Remick was 4 for 4 to have 8 points to lead Linton, who again is just in balance, scoring all over the place. 15 points from the first 5, 24 points from the bench so far for Linton. So that's a luxury that most teams do not have. Flatland with 8 second for the Wolves in the scoring department. Well, Watford City certainly wants to run and transitioned a little early, Scott.
Yeah, got some nice buckets there. You see Flatland scoring, and then they were able to knock down some shots from behind the arc, too. You see another transition bucket there by Jor.
And here's bank shot, not called, but still counts there for Christian Schultz. And then on the Linton side of things, well, hey, Larson has hit 2 threes as well in this game.
Yeah, a lot of arc on his shots there, good form. And then they were getting it done in transition as well. Both teams doing very well on the fast break.
Then Remick throwing down the 6th, 7th, and 8th of his points. John Cole, go ahead now.
Randy, pretty much what you expect in the first half here.
Yeah, they're good pressure defensively, and we knew if we turned the ball over, we were going to be in a deficit. We made a run by taking good care of the ball and taking good shots, and the shots were falling. But all of a sudden, we got it to 1, and then we didn't take very good care of the ball, and now it's 5 points.
Well, the plus is you know what they can bring, so now you're ready and you can try to adjust to it.
Yeah, we talked a lot about taking care of the ball at half and playing good, solid defense. We ran over that play and again, that back pick for the lob, and they were able to capitalize it again, but they execute well.
All right, thank you very much for the visit.
Thanks, John.
All right, gentlemen, over to you.
Okay, John, we'll see which team executes best when we come back. That's it on the Nodak Mutual Insurance halftime report. Quick glance here, and I believe we don't, as Kelsey Larson will be in the starting lineup in the second half, playing the point on the zone for Linton. A quick bounce pass over to Sanford, and the first 2 points in the second half belong to the Wolves.
Nice job of breaking down and recognizing the defense Linton was in to start the half there. Get to the baseline and get it over to the weak side. Open layup for Sanford.
Pavlicek posting up. He's got it. Double team. Someone open. Back to Pavlicek. Spinning. And one coming for John Pavlicek. His first 2 points. And the 11th player to score for Linton today.
Yeah, quiet first half for John. As we see here, nice moves in the paint. Working against Flatland. Just gets it back in the middle. Shooter's touch and a chance for a 3-point play.
I'm sorry, the 10th player is all for Linton to score. John has 3. First possession zone, second possession looks like man as Larson knocked it away. It's still being kicked around, so to speak, and 2 passes later, Larson with a layup on the other end.
All right, nice job by Purinton at the other end. able to grab that loose ball, and it's such a quick, strong outlet pass, and it created a 2-on-1 opportunity for the Lions.
It's a timeout before a 10 count, so the Wolves take the timeout to avoid a potential turnover, as we're still inside of a minute to begin in our third quarter. Earlier this afternoon, North Sargent defeated North Star. So North Sargent will play the winner of this game tomorrow afternoon. And here's that. This is just the definition of transition.
Yeah, the scrum here first, and then Purrington. The strength to get that pass out there quick. That's what opened up the 2-on-1 opportunity for Linton, and Larson finishing with the 2.
Coming up tonight after the news, we will have Turtle Lake Mercer against Bowman County. And Dakota Prairie will take on Berthold. Glad to have you along with us here on NBC North Dakota Sports as we close out our month's worth of championship coverage. Sanford spins into a double team. Jacobson on the drive. Good move in the air with the ball.
Yeah, nice double clutch right there. The defense came over, and that gave him just an opportunity to duck underneath that defense, that double clutch, get that shot to go.
Randy Cranston says Trey Jacobson probably has our best basketball IQ. He saw the pressure coming. Larson, no three-point attempt, so he'll drive, throw it up there, and it goes in.
That was a unique shot, I guess, to say the least. Wasn't really much of a jump shot, just kind of threw it en route to the basket.
And that went right between the hands of Jacobson, so it'll be a 5-in, 5-out switch here for Linton. Larson, by the way, with 10 points, averaging 6.7, so just under 7 on the year. Kuhlman will be part of the second rotation. Burrington backdoor, catch and score for Remick, and he still hasn't missed. That's Trent.
Well, we saw how Trent can get up with that dunk late in the first half, and had to do that right there. That pass a little bit long, but boy, he sure got up and able to get that one under control and in for 2.
Remick over to Purrington, and Tanner scores. And boy, this second unit has been the unit on that has really been strong at transitioning and that ball defense.
Well, that's what we talked about at the beginning, is you see a kick right there by Scott Remick. Is he just the second group? They don't do anything different, but what they do, they just do, it seems like, with a little more intensity, and that causes the opposing offense a lot of problems. They're able to get out on the fast break, and you'll see the finish coming up there by Purrington.
Man-to-man defense. Flatland trying to get open, and it was blocked. Sanford's shot. Scott does not get it, but here comes the second chance as Human comes in there. Remick to Remick passing. Trent back to Scott. 4-3. Nope. And now Flatland comes away. Down by 12 again is Watford City. Schultz, high arching 3, but he was about a foot too short. Trent Remick, no one picks him up till he's way down near the basket. Missed the shot though. Human with another rebound. He's only 5'8", but he's scrambling in there, and he's got it again. Travis with the ball.
Well, whoever's keeping track of turnovers had some work to do in the last couple of possessions. Been a ragged 30 seconds or so. Things calm down a little bit now as Linton sets up in the half court and a foul.
Derek Remick was on a solid post up. Foul on Flatland. His third. To be honest with you, I don't think Scott or I, either of us, wrote down the first Watford City foul, so we are missing one somewhere in our book.
Yep, not sure who got that one.
Now there's 11 players in the scorebook for Linton. And if Derek makes this one, Pavlicek will come in for him. He's a 6'2" sophomore. And he does make that one. Pavlicek will come in after this commercial break. It's a 52-38 advantage for the Lions from Linton. And here we are. once again. Sanford. Well, Watford City needs some points right now.
Yeah, this one's starting to get to that point where runs like this might get this one out of hand in a hurry.
Larson with 12 points and a timeout from Cranston, and as he came way out on the floor. Now we'll take the break, but Linton scored once again.
Turnovers, okay? Get to the basket now. We got 4 minutes. Let's get it at least to 8. 6 or 8, under 10. Okay, we can do that. We take care of the ball and take good shots.
Well, the lead right now, 16, 54-38.
Randy Cranston, you heard him. You just got to do it in steps. You got to, get it down to a manageable number as we start the fourth quarter. So a big 4 minutes, 3 minutes and 59 seconds here for Watford City to try to stop the bleeding and chip into that lead.
Linton with 36 bench points. It's almost hard to call them bench points as Sanford with a nice solid drive. Foul will be called on Purrington. Justin, second foul. Sanford's first trip to the line, 75% on the year is Sanford. School record holder for touchdowns in a season this past fall. If you remember that championship game, Trey Jacobson also threw a touchdown pass for the Wolves. Been kind of a quiet offensive night for him. Second chance, Purrington. And now Linton will reset. 3.5 minutes to play, third quarter.
I think quiet for both the teams' leading scorers. Sanford as well, just knocked down 1 or 2 free throws there, so he's got 7 on the night. And they really need him to get towards his average of almost 19.
Bounce pass to Sanford in traffic. Good look there from Flatland.
He's also one of the better three-point shooters, and when you have a lead like this, I know you want to chip away small, but I'd have to start thinking of that and seeing if those looks might be open as well.
So far, Schultz is leading the Wolves with 12 points. Speaking of threes, just like you were, Scott.
Must have been here.
Yeah.
It was a good look, though.
But the Lions get another turnover as Flatland went to the floor with not much help. Purrington drops the pass back to Purrington. Holm didn't have it very long, but Purrington was pressured on the shot. Now the Wolves have a transition chance. Waiting for Sanford. Linton gets the hand on the a lot of passes, don't they? And Flatland will shoot too.
Yeah, it sometimes seems like all 10 of those players are on the floor at the same time. I think when you're on offense against them. Farmers Union Insurance replay. Little scoop shot there that doesn't go by Schultz. Flatland. You see the bump there.
Bo Schmaltz, second foul. Flatland is 2 of 4 from the line so far tonight. Whoops, I guess afternoon. That's a hard habit to break for us. So used to the games happening at height. What is it, 4:04 Central Time? You know, when Linton makes substitutions, you just don't even bother anymore. We need to take a break here. 9 points now for Flatton. 2:22 left in our third. When we come back, the Lions will still enjoy that 12-point lead. Welcome back to the B, day one. As coming out of that timeout, the Lions will see a full court, and Scott Remick tried to drive right through it all. And now the turnover. That just looked like a turnover waiting to happen. Setting up for a three-pointer is a kid named Trey.
How appropriate. And now all of a sudden that lead, well, it's all of a sudden manageable, and it only took about a minute and a half.
In the deep corner, Hooman cannot match the three. But Liebel will break away, and he couldn't cross over because Tanner Purrington stole it. Over to Remick, and an offensive foul on Derek. His second foul.
I like the one-on-one defense there by Purrington that really started this break. Good pass over to Remick, and Remick just lowering the shoulder, picking up his second.
Schultz will not have a shot opportunity, guarded closely there by Scott. Jacobson bounces it over to Tyler Flatten. And Tyler will toe the line because he was fouled.
And that's another one on Derek, so that's 3 personals on Derek. Farmers Union Insurance replay. You see with the body before the shot or during the shot.
Tyler made 64% of his free throws. I don't know if I actually finished that thought, but with Linton, most of the time when substitutions are made, you try to kind of make a mental note of it and let people know who's all in. But with Linton, you just don't even bother. So many.
Say the next group.
Yep, the next group is in. Well, Tyler Flatten is in. No, Justin Flatten is in. Tyler Flatten is out.
Well, one thing Randy Cranston talked about, get this lead to 6 or 8, something under 10 going into the fourth quarter. There's still a minute left in the third, but so far so good for the Wolves.
Now Sanford, a little bit strong. It is a 9-0 run right now. And that was tipped, so the Lions will keep it. It was 54-38 at one point, or 54-47 now. A little over a minute left in the third quarter. Larson, 2-pointer. There is 14 points for Kelsey Larson. Double his season average.
Knocked down 2 big threes early in the game, and then big quarter here with 8 points in the third.
On the move, Schultz scores.
Well, Watford City's really been able to answer, though, ever since that timeout where Coach Cranston talked about cutting into that lead. They've taken care of the ball a little bit better and had good shot selection on offense.
Holm beats the double team on the dribble, but then threw the pass behind Pavlicek.
Yeah, and maybe even more importantly, I think their defense has picked up. They're pressuring the ball a little bit more and causing Linton and a few of those turnovers.
Well, the key is now to score on the possessions after creating a turnover, and that, of course, is what has helped Watford City take a 16-point lead here down to 7. Schultz with 9 seconds now gives it up to Sanford. And that's blocked big time, but only a few seconds left here for Holm, taken away. That's by Jacobson, and again, the turnover guy has been kept busy, hasn't he, Scott? But
absolutely.
It is goal accomplished for the Watford City Wolves. We head to the fourth with his team, Cranston's team.
Linton, of course, is a great basketball tradition. What's your name?
Zachary Robinson,
How old are you?
10 years old.
Okay. What's your name, buddy?
I'm Jackson Quaidle.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 9 years old.
Atta boy. What's your name?
Chase Shealy,
Okay. How old are you?
10.
Okay. Right over here.
My name's Elijah Robinson, and I'm 10 years old.
You play basketball?
I want to.
You better, right? Get here at the B someday? All right. Can you guys win the state title?
Yeah.
All right. You guys win the state title?
Yeah.
All right. They think they can, guys.
Well, John, they take a lead into the fourth, and Justin Purrington adds 2 points to that lead. Jacobson dribbled through a little bit of ball pressure. Now Sanford puts it up left-handed, follow, and one more coming for Kevin Sanford as he just kept at it.
Talking during that commercial break, It seems like if you're a Watford City fan, you see Sanford going to work here, getting the rebound, that was a pretty good quarter for you, the way you were able to come back and chip away at that lead. But, you know, when it's all said and done, Linton did outscore you 17-15 in that quarter, but it was a lot worse midway through.
Third foul on Purrington. Sanford converts the three-point play, so he's up to 12 points. Well, John talked about tradition in Linton. How about Linton being the only school to have played in the B in every decade since it started back in the 30s? Not bad. Moving in the deep corner. Trent goes to Scott on a drive, scoop shot, laid it up hard, and it'll be a blocking foul. So Scott Remick will go to the line for the first time, and getting himself up off the floor is Justin Flatland with his 4th foul.
Yeah, Justin trying to come in there, and he was a little bit late in getting over. That's the 4th, you're right. And a pretty big one, I think, for Watford City.
Scott Remick averaging just over 7 points a game. He is the senior of the 3 Remick brothers. Senior, junior, sophomore. Scott, Trent, Derrick in that order. On the other end, quickly, no for the Wolves, as Schultz had a pretty good look. And Remick goes to the baseline, and Trent has 12.
Good first step there. Got around the first defender, and really it was a pretty clean shot to the hole after that.
Did I call the right Remick there? Flatland scores it. Okay, thank you. Well, the Wolves again getting some nice shot attempts down around the basket, but Linton had another 1 and out. This to make the lead double figures, and it will have to be Scott going to the free throw line to make 2 if that turns out to be the case, as Jacobson picks up his 3rd. If I'm not mistaken, I think Scott Remick, the guy at the free throw line, was the North Dakota boys winner of the high school Heisman this fall.
No, not you, the other Flatland. Saw Nick Liebel check in.
So despite the 4 fouls in 6.5 minutes, it's kind of something that Randy Cranston is going to have to gamble with a bit here. Keep his big guy in, the 6'2 senior. Posting up Sanford, but no connection on the pass. Purrington ahead to Derrick, over to Hooman. Derrick had it again momentarily. And the arrow goes to Watford City.
I thought Derrick might try to take that one to the hole. Hooman was open on the back side, but I don't know if he even expected that pass to come. Boy, every pass contested by Linton, no matter where it's at on the floor. And their defense is such a ball-hawking defense. Nothing's easy.
No, it's certainly one of those things that over the course of the game just kind of wears on you. Behind the line, but a little bit too short on the shot. And a foul in the back court. Sanford at the foul. Number 1 on Kevin. Lions trying to get the lead back to double digits. Oh, open underneath. Scott just opened wide open, but Flatland closed on it.
And how about Flatland doing that with 4 fouls, too? He went over and got a piece of the ball, had to be very careful and make sure that that is all he got.
Flatland goes baseline, blocked by Trent. We know he can get off his feet with the dunk in the second quarter, so it's break time. We'll take the break. 5:19 left in the 4th. It's a 9-point lead for the Lions. We're back at the B with the Farmers Union Insurance Fan Cam. Farmers Union Insurance, the premier partner of the North Dakota High School Activities Association. And the fans from Linton right now have more to cheer about than anyone else in the building, except maybe North Sargent fans who don't have to cheer because their team already won. Schultz laid it high off the glass.
See a little bit more pressure here now for Watford City after the made basket, looking to double team and trap.
And it worked. As Holm was on the sideline and the turnover. He's been able to dribble through that most of the afternoon. He got squeezed in the trap. Sometimes it's hard to trap a team that likes to trap. Sanford's been posting up in this second half, and he's got one more coming from the line. His last points were on a three-point play that way. Sanford makes it a 5-point game.
Farmers Union Insurance, every time it seems that the Lions are going to pull away a little bit. Here comes Watford City now making another run right when this lead got close to double digits again.
And Purrington's playing now with 4 fouls as Justin comes out and Trent Remick will go back in. Watford City was down in the third quarter by 16 points. Remick into the game and straight to the basket. No follow for Larson, and a foul as they were battling for the rebound. It is on Tyler Flatten. Here's another look on a Farmers Union Insurance replay.
Larson, good position, just can't finish. And a foul on Tyler. Each team now with 16 fouls in the half.
We're going on close to 2 minutes since Linton has scored. A patient possession for the Lions. As it's stolen by Jacobson, he took it away from Pavlicek. Jacobson blocked. Pavlicek knocked it off of his foot. No.
I don't think it hit Jacobson. Pavlicek just knocked it out of bounds.
Now Sanford will inbound as the Wolves have an opportunity to maybe make it a 1-point game. Loads of time left. We're midway through the fourth quarter. On the drive, Jacobson blocked again by Remick as he went up strong for that one.
That was about as close to a volleyball spike as you'll see, I think, in basketball. Remick went up, and there was no doubt about that one.
Linton being patient here. And Dan Carr asking for a timeout. He'll talk things over. There's 3:39 left to play. Fourth quarter, 61-47. Linton is out in front. A 4-point lead is a dangerous lead, but yet still a lead.
Yeah, and another look here at Derek Remick's block shot there. Trent Remick, excuse me. A couple different looks at that. Yeah, it is a lead, but it's a dangerous one. You're right. And what Linton has done now on offense the last couple times down the floor is really spread it out and got out of their style. They're chewing a little bit more clock instead of being aggressive and attacking the basket.
If you get in trouble, we have a timeout. Hey, see what we get here. And let's get on the defensive side. We got to get boards right now. Hey, really important to get the boards. Lines.
Coach Carr did bring Justin Purrington back into the game. So he's playing with 4. So is Justin Flatland. But there's 3:39 left. Purrington over to Larson. Larson scores. 16 points for Larson, and that's the first bucket in about almost 3 minutes.
And Flatland got pinned deep on defense there. Larson behind him. And Flatland not able to do anything defensively with his 4 fouls.
And no doubt about that foul on Trent Remick as he knocked into Sanford pretty hard. That should put Sanford to the line for the bonus. And we'll shoot a 1-and-1. Sanford's 3 out of 4 today. He's made his last 2. Kevin trying to make it a 4-point game again, which he does. That's 17 for Sanford now. The Flatlands will go offense-defense because Justin has the 4 fouls. So Tyler's in right now. And stolen, but he couldn't save it to a teammate. Jacobson did jump in front of that pass, though. And now Linton in a little attempt on the offensive side.
Foul.
On who? On Holm. Okay.
Flatland switch again.
Second foul on Holm. Watford City's had it at 4 for quite a while, but Linton's kept that lead. Linton rated number 1, Watford City number 2. Flatland inside, and it's still a 4-point lead as Remick was fouled on the rebound.
Boy, what a good look, though, for Watford City. They do a good job of setting that up. Just would not fall. Sanford had to go with his left hand because he had Trent Remick on his right. Just couldn't quite knock that one in, and then he commits his second personal.
Yeah, you're right, Scott. You can't ask for anything more than that. Front end of a 1-and-1. The Lions cannot help themselves from the free throw line, so we're still at a 4-point game, 2:30 left. Liebel driving, Schultz guarded. He's the guy who's made a couple of threes. Liebel down the lane, tried to drop the bounce pass to Schultz. He did get it there. Schultz off the backboard. And it's 63-61. 18 points for Schultz. Purrington had to go to the floor, and he called the timeout. Just less than 2 minutes left of a 2-point game. We'll be back.
Let's go, boy!
Dan Carr's team has led the majority of the game, but right now the lead is thin. 1 basket difference, 2-point game. Scott Remick did check in for Linton. Linton's gone to the spread here in the 4th quarter. Remick back to Purrington.
Watford City is going to be forced pretty soon to come out and start pressuring.
Trent being watched by Flatland. Coach Cranston is saying, get out on him. There's the trap. Swinging around to Scott, back to Trent. He'll back out, and the foul on Sanford. Almost got the steal. Still in the 1-and-1. Trent missed the front end of a 1-and-1 his last trip to the line, and his only trip so far today. 12 points for Remick. And the Wolves have the ball.
Yeah, Linton not doing themselves any favors in the free throw line in the second half. Just so far 1 of 6.
Down by 16 at one point early in the second half. Watford City with a minute left, down by 2. Schultz for the tie from the free throw line. And Remick clears the board, and he is fouled in the backcourt by Liebel, and Scott Remick will go to the free throw line where he is 2 of 4.
But I believe that's the 10th team foul as well. Or is that 9?
I think it's 9. So it's still a bonus.
Yep, still 1-1.
2 fouls on Liebel. Five points now for Remick. This to try to make it a 2-basket advantage. It's still a 3-point difference. Schultz drives, lost the ball, but he was fouled. So now Christian goes to the line to shoot a bonus. The foul is on Trent Remick, his 3rd.
19 foul on Linton as well.
Schultz made them both. 1-point game.
See the Flatlands switching offense and defense again. Tyler in on defense.
Schultz with 20 points now to lead all scorers. Litton with the ball, up by 1. Holm almost picks. Schultz with the foul. And Holm has 2 makes so far. Here's another look at the almost steal.
Yeah, Schultz, boy.
That looked pretty good, didn't it?
Pretty good. Got a hand in there. That's his 4th personal now, Schultz.
Holm trying to add to the lead, and he does. Here's the Flatland substitution pattern again. The lead is 2. And they
thrown. It was tipped. Yep.
Okay.
Looked like it was thrown away. Schultz went up to try to get that back to Sanford, but Lions able to tip that one.
So the Wolves do keep half a minute left. Watford City down by 2, 65-63. Timeout. Watford City with 27 seconds to play. Litton's been able to keep the lead, but the Lions have also given Watford City some chances by missing front ends of the 1-1 when we were in that bonus.
Yeah, they've struggled from the free throw line here in the 4th quarter, and that's opened up the door for the Wolves.
Yes, we have a timeout. Switch all screens. Okay, switch the screen. Right? I'm probably going to go for a special for either. Okay, switch the screens now. How'd you do that? Make sure you help us.
Oh, great sound inside the Watford City cuddle there. Try for the 2, but hey, if you get the 3, knock it down.
So Watford City has 27 seconds. Clock moving. That's Jacobson with the ball looking for Sanford. He lost it, got it back, lost it again. 17 seconds. Now Schultz with it. And a steal by Larson. Larson with the steal, rolls out of it. Under 10 seconds left. Purrington on the dribble, and the clock stops at 6 as Flatland fouls him. And defense has been the big play so far for Linton in the closing seconds.
Wow, great steal there by Larson, anticipating the pass. Flatland now fouls out. And Purrington has a chance to end this game at the free throw line.
Be 2 shots for Purrington. Coach Cranston has about a half a minute to decide what he wants to do.
Another look, Farmers Union Insurance replay.
Anything
couple
to
of football players going at it there.
Anything to stop the clock. Flatland
But remember, Purrington has to make 2 of these to make it a 2-possession game.
There's the first. And here's the game, really. Your senior, your leading scorer, misses. Watford needs a big 3 here to force overtime. Sanford in the air, and the Wolves come close, but the Lions advance 66-63. What else would you expect, I guess, when number 1?
Top 2 teams meet?
Please. Number 2.
Well, there was a couple times in that game it looked like Linton was going to blow that game open and not give Watford City anything, and the Wolves just kept battling and fought themselves back into position to be there at the end.
Really, for Watford City, I think it was the run that the Wolves made at the end of the third quarter that ended up making this a game. John Cole, take it away.
And the sophomores shall lead them. Kelsey Larson, heck of a ball game of your life out here, and you picked off the pass. Tell me about the pass at the end.
I just saw him looking towards my way, and I anticipated it, and I used my right hand that coach always tells us to, and it worked.
All the practice pays off. You got to listen to those coaches, right?
Yep, it works. Yep, they know what they're talking about. So
came out there, scored, had a big game. My goodness, you have to be enjoying this.
It's great. I mean, it's everything a guy could dream of. I mean, we've been working hard since the summer, and it's all paid off.
And you got that great tradition of your program, and you got a shot here moving on to the semifinals. So far, no one's been able to knock you off.
Yeah, and that's what we wanted. I mean, we came in here, Watford gave us. It was a good game. They played hard, and we just got through.
It was the classic 1 versus 2, right?
Yep.
All right, I'll let you go celebrate with your teammates. See you tomorrow night.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, over to you. A happy scene.
Yes, it should be a happy scene. The Lions win for the 24th time this year, and that victory sends Linton into the semifinals tomorrow night. So it's a 66-63 victory for Linton over Watford City. We'll be right back with more coverage of the Bee after this. And welcome back to the Dome here at Minot State University, where North Sargent and Linton have picked up victories this afternoon in our first 2 quarterfinal games. Well, Scott, we've got a lot of different people to choose from and pick from, but we have picked one. And that one, our North Dakota Propane Gas Association player of the game. We'll let you know who we picked after this. The player of the game is the guy that John just chatted with. Kelsey Larson will receive a certificate and a donation sent to Linton on his behalf from the North Dakota Propane Gas Association. Propane, exceptional energy.
Well, he's the leading scorer for the Lions, more than doubling his average of 7 points, finished with 16 on 7 of 10 shooting, but probably that steal right at the end was the one that sealed it. That ended up sealing the game, giving Purrington the chance to do it at the free throw line. A great game all around for Kelsey Larson.
So Larson and his Lion teammates move into the semifinals. Again, North Sargent earlier this afternoon beat North Star. And coming up after the news at 6:30 Central Time, 2 more games to bring you here on NBC North Dakota Sports. Turtle Lake Mercer against Bowman County, followed by Dakota Prairie and Berthold. For watching this afternoon, we'll be back in, let's say less than 2 hours.
NBC North Dakota Sports exclusive coverage of the 2009 State Class B Boys High School Basketball Tournament was brought to you by Nodak Mutual Insurance, Bank of the West, North Dakota Propane Gas Association, and by Farmers Union Insurance.
Looked like an easy one there for a while, and then things got pretty close.
Outstanding game. Let me tell you something. Today was a great day to fake sick from work or actually be sick or call in sick or whatever it is. Yeah, the top 2 ranked teams in the state played in the first round of the Class B tournament. Number 1 and undefeated Linton taking on second-ranked Watford City. The Wolves entered with only 2 losses. Let's go to Minot for the highlights of this one. A good first half. Justin Purrington throws a lob to Bo Schmaltz to put Linton up 3. Then Trent Remick will intercept the pass, and he finishes on the other end with a very polite dunk. 39-34 Lions at the break. Linton opened it up in the third. Derek Remick to Tanner Purrington, and the lead is 12. Linton was ahead by as much as 16, but then the Wolves mount a comeback. Christian Schultz hits, and Watford down 2 with 2 minutes to go. A 2-point game with under 20 seconds left. Kelsey Larson to steal. Larson led Linton with 16 points. They hang on. 66-63 is the final. So Linton advances to the semi.